All right, what is up? It's been a while, but we got a little treat for you tonight. It's going to be a Twisted Metal 2 stream tonight, and with me is TruKuu, who played in a Twisted Metal 2 tournament at Retropalooza for the Retro World Series a couple weeks ago. And we're going to commentate over the matches from that, and it's going to be basically a recap, rebroadcast of probably about 6 matches we're going to do. So let's get TruKuu in here now. And all right. Get that. Gotta adjust the, there we go. All right, you there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, let me get you up here. All right, so hopefully we get somebody in the chat and can let us know. This Discord stuff is still, like, doesn't always line up too good. The audio sounds okay for me, but then it's not good for the stream. So...
Yeah, at first I just couldn't hear you at all. Like, it sounded like you were underwater, and then it just went silent. But it sounds pretty good now.
It should be all right.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me on. It's going to be fun commentating this. I'm looking back on it.
All right. So the first match that we have, let's see here. This one is Koozbot versus, we said this was CSEBROS. If that is right. Let's see.
That's what I'm rolling with.
Okay.
Which, of course, MK community may know Koozbot a bit better as Turd Baby.
Okay. Very good.
So yeah, this would have been round 1 of the tournament.
Yes.
That they caught on the main stage, yeah. Which, for context, you could pick up to Amazonia for your stage for the preliminary rounds.
Oh, they had different stage limitations?
They did. We had it to, basically the way it was set was up, you could do from LA to Amazonia through the preliminaries, and then the finals you picked from New York through Hong Kong, plus the 2 special stage, well, 2 of the hidden stages, Rooftop Combat and Suburbia.
Now, was there any reason for that? Is there like a difficulty level, like sort of like certain games have like a stage advantage, like whether the size of the stage or like things like that? Obviously,
well,
there's more difficult stages like Axel Outlaw 2 would have like a bigger advantage on like Moscow than they would on, say, you know, Hong Kong.
Oh, absolutely. The main reason that it was formatted the way it was because we wanted players to be able to, because like I was asked about what I thought would be good, and I thought about how it's a convention setting, and I said, well, you don't want people that are showing up to play just casually, running off the New York rooftop and killing themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. So the further you get in, the more competent the players would be.
Exactly.
Yeah. That New York, though, man, that... See, now you would think, like, that Spectre or somebody would have, like, a total advantage on that stage, but, like, you make Spectre run around a little bit, and he's going to go right off. That's how one of my best friends would lose on New York all the time with Spectre, was trying to run too much.
Yeah, the thing about Twisted Metal 2 that's interesting is the surfaces you touch throughout the level will give you your character properties they continue carrying later. So like if you touch certain ramps and stuff, whenever you do a jump, if you're going a certain speed, you'll do like a double jump and just go flying, and it's like really hard to control it.
Yeah, correct. All right, so we got Axel and Thumper here. And Axel was my main when I played back in the day.
Yeah, it's looking like Axel, typically the way that Koozbot plays Axel, he really is trying to emphasize his ramming potential.
Yeah, so Axel's like basically minion level ramming. Just one tire shot to the side can do about 50% to most cars that aren't that aren't too slow that they can't really handle Axel otherwise.
Exactly. He actually, what's funny is he's even better at ramming than, for example, Hammerhead is. Even
Yes.
Hammerhead has a special base ram.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, Hammerhead special being the basically like a rumble type of action when he makes contact with you, and he has special. It automatically activates on RAM, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So this looks like finally we're getting some real action here. But Thumper took a lot of damage before that really even took off.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing that he has to worry about is just avoiding the front end of Thumper, because even Thumper's rear fire or his special still makes it come out the front. So if you can get him from the back or sides, that's, his big weakness.
Yeah, Thumper's special is one of these like short range, like single direction projectiles, but if you get the full hit plus the burn from it, it's KO. It's like down to that last, the unburnable danger basically pixel on most cars, on most vehicles.
Exactly. Especially you can get a double freeze through it. I mean,
yes.
It's just like that's it,
Yeah, you got to hit that you got to hit that freeze, and then the special has to like follow it up pretty much immediately to get that second freeze off. And I know does it have like a hold to it at all, or can you, like, when he first hits it, can you turbo out of it immediately, or is there like a delay to it?
It doesn't hold you in place, but you will take damage until you get out of the range of it, even if you're turboing, unlike most flying attacks.
Because it constantly reignites the fire, probably. So that actually wastes turbo if you hold turbo while you're doing it. Because
right.
Turning out putting out the fire with turbo takes, it's like 10 turbo or something like that. So he's a little bit out of the range of that freeze.
Which, now, the way that the stage selection works after the first match in the preliminary rounds, it's first to 2 wins, right? And the loser of each round picks the next round, the next map they play out of the ones available for that round. And the only real stipulation beyond that is that you can't pick a stage that you won in the set already. So, the way it looks like to me, they wanted to reset the items. So they went on ahead and went through the whole process of redoing the stage selection, even though the loser wanted to play LA again.
All right, sorry, I was just checking to make sure that we could hear you on the stream. I think that's good. I don't think we have anybody really in the chat right now to verify that. All right, so let's get back into this again. Another pretty quick run. Axel, I feel, is just a really solid character.
And once he gets rolling, yeah, it's momentum, man. If he gets started, he can usually kill you in just one good hit or so.
Yeah, nice, like a freeze ram axle power combination is usually at least 75%. All right, so let's move on to, let's see, we're gonna go to one of the winner semis. I don't know if you remember the order for these, but we have, I guess we just might as well go to you and RizzyDizz.
Yes, that would have been the next round.
Okay, so let me pop that up on here. I'll go back to that real quick. Hold on just a second.
Which RizzyDizz is my girlfriend, but I don't think it counts as domestic abuse in a game.
All right. Oh, do we have comments from Rizzy back there?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't hear what she said.
Okay.
I'm sure it was something very loving and supportive.
Of course. All right, let's go back. Are you good over there with the
Yeah, I can see the video.
Okay, good.
It looks to be going a little choppy, but it's going.
Yeah, just give it a second.
Which I don't remember how this match went exactly, to be honest. The main matches I remember that I played in was the grand finals, and I remember the winners finals against Koozbot. Those are the two I remember the most at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, Outlaw was really popular in this tournament. I was actually the only person using Spectre.
Really? Okay. I mean, Outlaw is basically like Axel Light, really fast, less damaging, but basically the same idea with the special. Although Outlaw 2 does have the 2-hit part of the damage, so you can get a shield in the middle. And also, if there's too much distance, I think... Actually, it probably always does full damage. I know the computer has that limiter issue. But these are fun. These are really fast-paced matches. I love that using the jump fire. It feels like it's a more accurate shot. Less chance to get the missile to get interrupted by something.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, like utilizing it in heavy, like drifting situations like that, because you can use it, the elevation, to help throw off the aiming of like homing missiles that are sent back at you and stuff. And sometimes you dodge it.
Yeah, good use of the remote control bomb there, but usually when the bomb hits below, it does more damage. But I think that's maybe only counts if they're actually airborne and not just above it. I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, but it definitely does more damage if they're airborne.
Which, like, I was there for a second. I got to put my mind off of the player for a moment, so I just wanted to focus on getting all the remote bomb spawns. And that was the last one there, that breaking the window. So.
Yes. Now, also power-ups. You guys played with power-ups where...
So there's no way to disable the health pickups in the options menu, for example. So I just decided, I basically told him, I was like, you should probably just like let it rock, because if you like tell people no health pickups,
and then if there's like an accident, there are situations where it can be accidental. But I think only the full power-ups are on the maps in 2-player or 1-on-1. I think. Okay, so that was pretty good. I mean, a nice like jousting sort of battle. You just kind of like make passes at each other and fire along the way. But with the homing missiles with Spectre, I mean, they're not just like homing missiles. They're like you if it goes, because it's either homing or no homing. If you're not pointing it within like a certain like degree of range of the direction of your opponent, or like within a certain range, it just fires straight. But if it does have homing, it's got like a 90+% chance that it's going to hit.
Yeah, people at the tournament, one person said that he doesn't use Spectre because the missiles miss sometimes. And I have seen, like, with the zigzag motion, it does, like, some jank where it'll run around in circles. But, like, to me, I'm like, well, that just, he just has character, Just
yeah.
That's how you know it's a fun character.
I really don't know. That was a nice attempt there that you had. Boom. Got that? These stages with the buildings are just a nightmare against Spectre.
Yeah, I love these areas with a lot of cover, man. To me, this is like my favorite part of the game, just getting to like go fast and do drifts around the corners and everything. Like, it's just satisfying to drive in this game.
So what I would do playing against somebody with Spectre on the stage, first off, is destroy all the trees in the middle of the road here going to the Louvre. Because those trees will stop your Spectre missiles.
Yeah, that's what I was telling, like the TO actually asked me, so we were watching the match, and somebody went out of their way to destroy all the trees, and he's like, why are they destroying all the nature? Like, I told him. That's like, funny. Because it actually, like, takes the missiles and stuff, Okay. Which I was in trouble there. I had on collision. It's not good for Spectre.
No. And you were basically a freeze away from death there.
Yeah. I'm just lucky it wasn't capitalized on, honestly. Maybe I could have landmined out or landed.
You probably could have, yeah.
But, like, it's, it's
See, look at that. I mean, you two, like, within, like, 2 seconds, we're on opposite sides of the whole map there. That freeze does not have a chance. I don't think it does.
If I would have been right up there on the edge and she would have been right on the edge, man, like, I feel like I've seen it make just barely, like, the tip of the bumper.
Yeah. You're putting out a lot of missiles here, but it's It's not really. They're not really all connecting.
She's making a good use of the shield against the Spectre missile for sure.
See, that's another thing about the Spectre missiles. Good remote control bomb there. There's
I gotta blow myself.
Yeah. Is that it for that one? All right. I'll go to the next one here.
I got asked a lot afterwards about Antarctica because that's one of the stages that gets added in the later part of the tournament, right?
Yeah.
And it was taking out a lot of people, and not everybody was too happy about it. Honestly, I kind of like the spontaneous nature of the falling parts and all that, but
you know what it is? It kind of adds almost a Mario Kart aspect to it, just slightly.
Yeah. The only rule we had for Antarctica is there's a way you can get on the teleporter, right? And then that piece of the island that has the teleporter that takes you to the small distant island will
eventually it does fall, and you can't get to the teleporter island, but they can get back still. So then Spectre can Spectre connect his missiles from there?
I don't believe so. I think
too far away, probably.
Yes, homing missiles don't make it. I even tried doing like
minion special
and then jump and then shoot like the missile, and it still wouldn't make it.
Okay, so it's definitely too far. Definitely too far. Let me try. Hold on a second. I'm gonna just go back to Discord real quick. I just want to give you a little bit of volume boost just in case.
Okay.
Let's do. Actually, I think I can do that right from here. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on just a second. Okay. Okay, that's all up. That's good.
All right, can you hear me all right, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. I'm not 100% on the stream right now.
Well, if you need me to do any kind of talking for a volume test or whatever, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm just trying to get to the audio. There's the individual sound for each thing in the settings. What the hell is it? All right. Okay, so let's go back here. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. I'll bring you up. Go ahead.
All right, can you hear me all right, buddy?
That should be better.
All right, great. Now, I had a thought while we were talking a little while ago. You mentioned great characters for Moscow, for example,
yes.
Outlaw and Axel, but you know who else would be really great that I didn't see get used was Shadow, because his shadows do more damage on slopes.
Yes, that is true. Shadow's a tricky character to use. Kind of average speed, average handling, average, armor, but big damage. Basically a moving remote control bomb.
Yeah, and he, really, he gets it so fast too. I think he has the first. He's like the second maybe.
I think
Might be the first.
Sweet Tooth might be the first.
I think it's close.
Yeah, very, very close. If they deliberately gave them all different recharge speeds, I believe it's Sweet Tooth's the fastest, because he basically almost never doesn't have them. All right, let's see what we got here. So this is interesting because they both have to get close to do their specials. And as long as Outlaw has a special, Axel's ramming is pretty much neutralized, and she's just way too fast. So, I don't know.
I figured this would be a pretty familiar matchup for you based on what I'd heard.
Yeah, I had basically Dreamer and Jay used more vehicles than everybody in our little group, so I would get a little bit of practice with against Outlaw 2, but I was pretty much the Outlaw 2 main. It was either Outlaw 2 or Axel for me. And I had another friend who used Warthog and Shadow. So like, it's interesting not having mirror matches in a game like this, because then everybody has 2 cars. So you get at least with 4 people, you're going to get 8 people. See, look at that. But Axel could have fired off a special there. Just for the trade. Good shield.
He might be somewhat getting a feel for the overall range of the Axel power.
It's deceptive.
I think he was out of camera, so sometimes it gets a little harder to gauge that in the moment.
Yeah. All right, so right here, ram to power missile. That would have been it. Oh, just that's a CPU strategy right there. Ram and then let him roll and ram again. But it doesn't really. I mean, you'll get maybe 2. But that was a pretty good delivery there.
It's definitely going to be hard to come back because the full health's already been grabbed.
That is true.
Now, he does have enough energy for a minion special. He has a couple of items he could use for a Sell Your Soul if he gets really antsy for some health, but that's about his best bet.
Yeah, we never really used the Sell Your Soul. We might have had some rules with some of that stuff. I don't remember if we ever formally declared that. But I don't remember anyone ever really using. Just me and Dreamer would use invisibility sometimes, but you can still see him on the map.
Yep.
Oh, thank you for the subscription for Merchant, renewing that sub.
Yeah, thanks for watching, man.
Let me get.
Sorry. The only things that we banned was the anything that didn't all the energy attacks were allowed, and we allowed Sell Your Soul because it gets rid of all your weapons.
Yes, there is a sacrifice for it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. But stuff that was just a universal upgrade, like a cheat code kind of thing.
Yeah, like mega machine guns and homing napalm and stuff.
Exactly.
Homing napalm is absolutely insane. It's a homing remote control bomb basically with fire, so it's 50% on basically any hit. That was a pretty solid confrontation there. That was a little bit better, better than I expected after that pretty much the mauling in the beginning.
Yeah, Outlaw managed to bring it back. I mean, they both almost, they both could have won a couple of times, but the fire missile's what determined it. Honestly, if I first saw it, I thought that Axel was going to get Outlaw there at the very end with the special, but it just slipped by.
Also, sorry, just checking the stream. Okay, yeah, the camera choice I was just going to actually mention here, vertical versus horizontal. Was that stage specific? Did you just have to agree on that, or?
The camera was decided. It was left to default for the stage unless both players agreed to a change.
Okay.
So that's why you don't really see it changing.
Pretty quick damage.
Yeah. Koozbot likes this stage quite a bit because he's he's very heavy on the round aspect of Axel and taking advantage of that, and that's it's a very small arena that's in a circular motion,
So the thing about this stage, I think not so much is on a Paris or New York, is the lighter or the lower armor car is taking damage from ramming into walls. Even though this is a small stage, it's all curves, so you really only are going to take damage if you're hitting the cage, so to speak. And wow, that was again, it shows you the small quarters when you can't run.
And it's one of the things that's great about this game. I just love how I love how sudden it can be. You know, like you have a full bar of health, and then somebody gets like one good thing on you, and that's just it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But on the other hand, like matches, and it can also just last an eternity. You know, depending on how it gets played. So.
Yeah, on the bigger maps like on Hong Kong, I mean, if you're in like a game, like if you're chasing somebody and like say you're Axel or God forbid you're Mr. Slam, you're running after an outlaw or even Twister, you basically have to scare them into taking that wall damage until you have enough where you can just come right at them.
Yeah, it is a good way to wear them down because especially people that aren't
like
quite
right
as
there.
familiar.
If you see them flash, if you see the red flash, like you're taking a hit there, they're taking a little bit of chip damage on every one of those wall hits. All right, this is this is just a boom, nice, but no damage. See, look at that.
He was pretty far away.
Yeah.
I think that's why. Definitely, proximity is really important with the remote bombs damage.
Yeah. Now,
which he's trying to get a rear fire out. I think got a little gummed up on the D-pad input.
Yeah, see, I always prefer to have the horizontal view, just because like I don't really see that the vertical is mattering so much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people like it on some maps like New York where they have to worry about like, you know, what's off the corner, but if you know the map well enough, you really don't need it there either.
Yeah. Here comes a missile. Boom. Another one. Follow up. I like doing, what's it called? Like a, ooh. Oh, jeez. See, look at that. That little extra damage there. Boom.
Yeah, it was going to be hard to get out of that.
I like throwing like a napalm and then like a regular napalm, so it's basically two napalms in one. I don't know if you ever do that.
Yes, the timing, like the cooldown is different between the energy attacks and the main weapons.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get like double shots and stuff. It's really, I like to use napalm sometimes. Like I think I did it once or twice in this tournament. Like even if I think I might barely miss, I'll still throw it just because napalm can like blind the vision of the other player for a moment.
That is very true. Yes, yes. And napalm has like just a very, very, very slight like sort of like a friendly zone of like where it'll arc to them just a little bit, and it has like a decent range to it within it, so you'll get a lot of those like over the hill shots, like where you can't even see them, and as they're coming up, they'll go like right into it. All right, let's go to. All right, so that was what? That was match 3. So next one we'll do winners finals, and that's you. You
that
and
should
Koozbot?
be Yep, that should be it.
Alright, let me set this up. I don't know why
it does
that. Hold on.
We got to play Cyberbia. I remember that. I always liked playing that map.
Yeah, I'm not quite as familiar with that one. I don't think we really used it that much. I think a couple of our guys didn't really like that map. So we just didn't play that much.
The only map we banned outright was the Jet Moto one, just because like everywhere I look, like that's literally everybody's least favorite map. And it's kind of just universally agreed it's not really designed for car combat.
No, it's just basically a little corridor, and it's like kind of tight on the sides, if I remember correctly. All right. Let's see. So this is again. This is just because this stage is like kind of split in half. Like there's like the town, and then there's the race course. Spectre just kind of has free reign on this stage because it's so close with that wall between you.
Yep. Yeah, I really was just going to take full advantage of all the corridors and just take as many pot shots as I can. You know.
Exactly. Nice. Nice aim on the napalm there.
Yeah, So I was trying to use it there. Like I think one or two of these is going to miss, but it'll be close enough.
Just
where
slow
it
on the
affects
shield there
field of
too.
view.
That's another thing is Spectre. If you have 2 Spectre missiles, you can basically good. That was beautiful, beautiful. Landmine, juggle to remote control bomb. You don't usually see juggle combos in car combat games, but you just saw one. That was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I call this a race course. I don't. Maybe actually might be like a kind of like the sewer area, like in GTA in Los Santos.
Yeah.
It's kind of more like what it is.
They have that. There is a little highway segment though that you can go into. It's like a split area, and it's like 2 big highways, and it's kind of like a race course type area.
Yes.
Like, Suburbia was like something we talked about a little later in the rule set because it's pretty big. It's like a really big map, but also
it's like 2 different maps entirely.
Right, but it's not like a very extreme map, so we decided it should
it's the more simplistic
finals.
Twisted Metal 1 design. So this map, man, this is like, oh man. So this room, okay, so this room is basically, unless you get to that warning track, is all vulnerable to the lightning. And you can, so there's a subway tunnel that you can rummage for power-ups in, and if your opponent is chilling in that room, you can use the lightning when you're in there. Or sorry, if your opponent is going through the subway, you can use the lightning on them while they're in the subway.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. So the subway goes right underneath it.
Yeah, I was getting a little cocky with the Spectre missiles here, kind of overestimating their reach.
See, that one just went straight there because you were, I think maybe we're just not close enough for it to pick up a homing. But
I'm not sure. I think I might have decided to get the health pickup here, just to keep it from being used against me later.
Yeah,
in case I get a life lead.
Yep.
There's also just really good, like there's homing, there's power missiles, like there's just a really good artillery up there.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid nest of goodies up there. So see, like if you hang out in that room, I guess it's like a temple sort of. You can see when they go beneath you on the radar, that's when they're vulnerable to electricity. So when my friend would run through the subway getting power-ups as Spectre, I would always get him with a couple lightnings, and that's pretty good damage on him. But yeah
that's
so
really good.
Axel's just got to come at you in this situation because there's really no way out in that wall there. Okay, it was a little bit questionable use of the remote control bomb, but
I was like just trying to, I don't know, like trying not to get hit, but also just trying to go ahead and be more aggressive about it.
Yeah.
I was trying to kill myself, but it didn't quite work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of my most fun matches I've had in this game's death matches have definitely come from Hong Kong. It's just a really solid map.
Yeah, it's got enough variety and it's got hiding spots, but it also has a ring out too. If you go into the drink on the other side there, it's an instant kill.
You can time a remote bomb just right. If you escape from like a corner angle and a remote bomb when you land, you can actually blow yourself out of bounds and drive around.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, it's weird.
So yeah, just a lot of fun to be had on that map.
All right, so what did you just do here? All right,
we picked the next stage. Yeah, and we're on Antarctica now. So
as we were saying before, the outskirts. So you can see on Axel's screen, and Spectre just passed under. There's this bridge in the middle, and everything around it collapses gradually, one section at a time, as the map goes. And so by the stage shrinking, the longer it goes, I guess would favor Axel.
Yeah, that's how I would say it goes, especially considering the kind of bounce and knockback you can get by getting hit by his special.
Yes. And it's very easy to misjudge the edges So like right there, if you were like coming in full speed and he hit you with the Axel special, like it would be. Ooh, see that ricochets are very, very important on this stage, especially in that little tunnel of death there, little canyon of death. Nice attempt at the minion special there.
Yeah, I was just like, well, I'm gonna at least try to land it, you know. But it almost gets me in trouble because like
now you're out of bar.
Running.
Yeah, it's like 90% of your bar to use it, which is reasonable considering it's basically the Warthog special with a freeze, and it's instant. So just one button press freeze. So that's very very useful. See right there, you got kind of lucky.
Yeah, I almost bit it there, but. Yeah. See, what I thought happened is sometimes when you hit them with a homing or a Spectre missile, it'll affect their trajectory and make them bounce. And when he tried to jump across, I hit him with the Spectre missile, so I thought I had a brief moment, and he ends up ramming me.
Now this could be a big mistake if he had Axel power right when you went on the map. I don't know if you were paying attention and noticed that he didn't have it, because it probably would have been game over there. Because all he has to do is teleport and hit it, and there's like pretty much nothing you can do. Unless you had shield, but I don't remember. Does he still bounce if you have shield on?
He bounces, but like I was being purposely being really like minimalistic on movement and got off there as soon as I could.
Good napalm there too, by the way.
Yeah, I was just like power missile and I'm out. So I also realized he could grab the remote bomb over there and use it. And he was closer, so I wasn't even going to risk it.
Yeah, so
basically there's also one up here.
Yeah. Yes. You're
That's what
yep, there's your Spectre missile, and he just gets the shield on, but I don't think he needed it. And
I think it hit a wall, yeah. And I tried to just nuke him here, but I missed. So now we got a game. Oh jeez,
he almost killed himself there with that ricochet bomb. Okay. Yep. Alright, so he's got shield now. See, nope, but no turbo, so. Do you get a Holland? Yeah, do you get Holland on this?
Holland is a part of the final set of black maps, but nobody ever picked it, I don't think.
Okay. Alright.
See,
like look at that. You had 53 turbos to finish that out there. It was. Alright, let's go to the next one. So
yeah, that was probably, it might be my favorite set just because I like the map selection so much that we had.
Alright, so we're going what, losers finals now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Koozbot and Shadow Blades. Okay. Just adjusting the volume here. For some reason, the preview editor does not let me move the position of the source where it's layered. So I have to open this. So you can see, like, when I open this, there's no side stuff. So now I have to, like, bring it down so I show up. I try to, like, do everything in the preview editor before I bring it in.
Yeah, try to be discreet.
Yeah, exactly. Merchant, you in there, man? You how you liking this? This is a little bit different. Stream tonight here. He did watch all my Twisted Metal 2 stuff that I did like a couple months ago when I did like a week of Axel on a hard difficulty level. All right, so we're on New York now.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I almost had a deathless run with Spectre on a hard like last week, and I accidentally blew myself up with a remote bomb on Antarctica.
My god. Terrible.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
So this stage is like for these two vehicles is actually better than you would think. I think I mentioned that before. But see, like right there, I mean, boom.
Yeah.
Look at the That's what I'm saying. Like, you basically just, and you can't really sit anywhere except in like the pool area. But is the pool area? Yeah, pool area is accessible on this, right? Because I see how there's like the wood on the left there. They like close off this one building in when there's two players.
funny thing about that area, though, that roof, that there in general, if you have a remote bomb, which you can get from the pool area, and use it right where he was, and turbo on top of there, there's no way for them to get to you unless they also have a remote bomb.
Okay.
So you can kind of just hang out up there, but the only character that can really take advantage of it is Spectre, because everybody else will just run out of weapons.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Can Shadow?
I guess. Yeah, Shadow. I guess Warthog could, but neither one of them I feel would be quite as effective at it.
I don't know if Warthog can Warthog. I guess,
It
yeah.
doesn't-
I don't know if
it
it'll
wouldn't be.
hit. I don't know if the angle would let him hit. I'd have to investigate that a little bit. We definitely got to play this a little bit whenever you said that emulator is available.
Yeah, it'll be great, man.
All right, so this is. Ooh. So this is a bad example for Outlaw 2s. You don't usually see Outlaw 2 having to push that turbo too much, but they're both burning out real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And once neither vehicle has turbo, it like the gameplay. It's like not having the run button. It's like running out of run meter in UMK3, but it's permanent until you get that power up again. Whereas in Twisted Metal 1, turbo was like the run meter, where it recharged gradually, but very slowly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if they know where the turbo pickups are, but I mean, regardless, like
The
it's
subway,
just been for a
yeah.
while.
The subways where there's like 4 of them, I think.
He
Boom!
almost got by it.
Oh, geez, see, right? Look at that!
Oh!
Boom! And didn't even use the special. Just
So
tap,
he's
tap,
satisfied
tap.
with that one.
Yep.
Little head nod, like, yep, that's how it's supposed to go.
And you didn't see any, even with the Outlaw 2 special, sometimes there's like no reaction. Doesn't get that little like get off of me, you know? Like kind of like when they have a shield on sometimes.
Seems to depend on the property, like that the player are getting hit by its in at the time. Like if they're traveling a certain speed or like in a ram or something, it definitely affects it.
Which is also similar to when you're like in like an airborne state, but you land without holding a direction. You can drive instantly in the direction that you're facing with no skidding, which is very, very useful. I don't know if anybody, you're probably the only one who's taken advantage of that in this, if at all.
Yeah,
but it's very, very useful.
Whenever I was playing against Koozbot, whenever I went into the tower area where the lightning is here on Hong Kong, I used it to just go on the ramp and get the lightning and then land and go.
Yes.
Like that's probably the most prominent use that I saw.
So, all right, see, that was a very good example of the advantage of Outlaw 2's special versus Axel's, because Axel's is just like, it's pretty much mostly just horizontal. I think it has a little bit of vertical, whereas I believe Outlaw 2's is just completely like a sphere around her.
360.
Yeah.
Which, now I feel like the way this is going currently, the big problem is, as we saw earlier, Axel, once he gets in, it's just pretty much over. But really, Outlaw's been using additional speed and all the different alleyways to make this game a lot longer and more in her favor. It's just going to be a matter if you can find the artillery to really do the damage you need to Axel.
Now, just getting in the subway there was a risk. There's one turbo. Oh, see, like that. Now, if the tram hits you in a certain situation, it's an instant kill. I don't know if you have ever seen that. So, like, when you get onto the ramp to get into the subway, like right up here, if you're not paying attention, that boom, it hits you. I'm pretty sure it doesn't even depend on the car.
And that's brutal. I've never been insta-killed by it. I've taken a good lick off of it. Yeah. Now, I know you can ride on top of it.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You do a little jump and turbo on. Okay, now this is dangerous for either vehicle here, but
with the ramming potential of Axel, I always feel a bit more nervous for Outlaw in that situation. And as you see, it only lasted a moment, but it definitely was an interaction that benefited Axel overall.
Absolutely. So let's see. So nobody has any lightning, and there's
Uh-oh.
full power up. So this is gonna. Oh no! Big.
Probably went for a jump.
That was. Oh man! I see. Now we just grab that lightning, because that gives you at least a little bit of cushion to get back up there.
There you go.
All right. You can just turbo straight across. You don't even have to. You don't even have to jump.
Right, especially like I don't know if some characters are slow enough where they don't make it.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
definitely,
maybe-
definitely. But no, but Outlaw, Spectre, Roadkill,
Right.
they don't need to. I think anybody who has like 100-mile-an-hour Axel probably can't, because I think he's like 99. Anybody who's like normal speed doesn't exceed 100, I think. But yeah, those other quick Twister, Grasshopper, I think they can all do it. Grasshopper's another interesting vehicle. So this has
Neither
been
one of them
pretty
lightning.
good so far here. Boom, kind of trading off hits here, but man, those. I mean, this is like Zangief versus Cammy here. They got to get in, but but that damage is always there. See, there's that lightning.
Finally.
Boom. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right, now the chase is on again. I love it. This has been the best match so far, I think. And here, come on, get your special. Get your special. No specials. Machine gun death. Love it.
Yeah, I was waiting on like shield special. I was like, come on, you can get out of it.
Oh man. Is that it for that one, or is this
No, it's first to three.
Three,
so
okay,
Caesar's final. So.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, I believe since Koozbot just lost that round, yeah, he'll get the pick for this one.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I would go for that Moscow. But...
Well, it's the final, so
Oh, it has to be.
changed.
Oh, there we go. Oh, this is not good for Axel.
He seems confident in it. He
Yeah.
picked it. But yeah, they open and like thinking about his play style and everything. Yeah, I mean it is kind of it does seem like a risk because there's just so much room for Outlaw to get around.
And there's a twofold factor here: is that Axel has to use that turbo to get around this map, and Outlaw 2 does not. So there's like basically Axel's going to use up the turbo probably twice as fast, and then once he doesn't have the turbo, then Outlaw 2 doesn't have to use it at all. But he's doing pretty good in the onset here. See, I would like to see these matches done like 3 out of 5 on a map, and then like switching up to another 3 out of 5 on another map. I think because the matches are so quick sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's
not
your
a
full
bad
power
idea. I was just trying to. This had never been done before,
Yeah.
so we were trying to make sure it'd be like time efficient.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because you have like. Yeah, we had like a 2-hour time slot basically for
Okay.
the whole tournament, and no idea how many
Boom.
people will be there.
Oh man, remote control bomb.
Yeah.
See now, I had asked before about the power-ups. It does seem like it's only full power-ups, but there's some haystacks here. Do they change? Because there should be one to the right of, or now behind Outlaw 2. I don't know if
I'm
they...
pretty sure they change it.
Okay. Yeah, because there should be... Oh, wow, look at this. Wow. Did not think that was going to happen.
Just stayed straight and got too aggressive, you know.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
And that was just such a good hit.
They do reset maps every time, right? Because the power-ups don't reset.
It wasn't written explicitly, so it was really up to the player's discretion at that point. But since Shadowblade just lost, he gets to pick the next map.
Okay.
And I believe he has them go Antarctica.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the convention in the background, you don't see like a whole lot of people at the setups or anything, but like I think at this point it was like maybe half an hour until the whole place closed down.
Yeah,
you know, and it was the last day of the event, so it was definitely a bit livelier at different points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would definitely like to rekindle my flame for this game.
I would love to see more for it because I feel like it has a lot of potential, and it's one of those games where like everybody
All right.
generally.
This is danger zone here. It could be.
Yeah.
Yep, right here, but doesn't have
no.
it. Doesn't have it. So, but
Okay.
Rico's. I mean, easier said than done. You know, they just basically just go straight out. But now remote control bomb makes it dangerous for both of you. So let's see what he does here to him. See, he's really he's really okay right there. Boom. That was.
Oh, he's still in.
And he almost risked himself there. Might as well just grab the homing missiles. Homing missiles are to me the most useful overall weapon. They do the moderate damage. They have excellent homing with their homing missiles. Most versatile weapon, I should say, that you want to have stocked up.
And they're definitely like a great bread and butter. But that's one of the things that's really good about this game is like every like weapon has like its own designated purpose that it's like really effective at, and then like 2 or 3 like alternative purposes.
Yep.
That, you
very
know,
very deliberate. Like, very deliberate weapons. What would you call it? Just the way they. Jeez, look at that. Oh no!
No.
Oh noes!
No.
Wow.
That's it, man.
And that's what Ring Out does to you there. A little bit of Soul Calibur.
So close too. Like he almost had it.
Wow. Yeah, that was all the stage, and it was smart. It was smart to take that because he does slide a lot and tends to like kind of drift. All right, so now where are we at? Grand Finals?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yep,
it'll be
that's it.
me and Shadow Blades.
Right. All right. Let's go back here.
I talked to this guy after the tournament, you know. He had not played it in quite a while, but he was one of those, you know, back when the game was new, he just played it religiously, you know, and a lot what he was going off of was just...
Was he about my age?
I would say so, yeah. He had, his daughter was running around in the frame earlier. So, you know, for context on that, I didn't ask him a specific age, but that gave me a decent idea.
Okay. And this is Texas?
Yes, this was in Arlington, Texas.
Okay. All right, here we go.
That's something I learned the hard way about this map during this match that I'd kind of forgotten about, is that despite them boarding off parts of the buildings and everything for optimization purposes, you still run into like more frame rate issues on this map than you do on some of the others, which affected some of my D-pad inputs and stuff.
Yes, it does. That is definitely a problem. That's why I would love to see these. I mean, I would love to see this game like completely like souped up, full, you know, 60 FPS widescreen. Just juice it up, you know.
Yeah, I'd like just the same game, but 60 FPS, like you said, and like widescreen and online play.
Yeah.
Like
mirror matches. Mirror matches would be neat to see the cars in like different palettes, you know. We just know these cars is just one thing. Like this is all they are. So, but yeah, this stage is like it has so much like terrain like difference. So right up here is what you're saying. Or you can bomb right up off of here and then.
Yeah, the part I'm on, you can bomb up from there.
Okay. Okay.
Which I've tried to make it from the triple building area that he was on. But, you know, like, I would get so close.
Look at him running from the home missiles there. That, Spectre missile didn't get it. See, it's like, there's this, like, pan of like, view of, like, 90 degrees or so that if you fire it, it always homes. Man, he's really...
Yeah, he's putting a hurt on there up
he's
there.
Lumping up a little bit. Ooh, that had the Rico took both years. If you drive too quickly, the Rico will push you... You'll hit your own Rico, I should say, if you're going too fast. But I think it took both of his. Or it took you and you pushed him, one or the other.
I wasn't in a great position to kill him there. I was hoping maybe if he like stayed long enough, the Rico would even go down to the next level and just push him off. So I kept firing even though he had the shield. Because I was like, well, if I knock him off, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
You know?
Yeah. Oh man, but
and it's right here. I'm trying to like shield.
Yep, and he just was a little too early on the taser. You gotta jump in here.
Jump. There we go.
And then turbo, even if you're out of turbo, if you press turbo while you're in the air stationary, it will move you forward. But it moves you at what we'll call impulse speed.
Yeah.
Look at that Spectre missile. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So now you got to be careful here, because if you get a little bit too. Did you just do?
Exchanged an napalm.
Yeah. And you got a little bit. That wasn't too bad. Enough that you don't really have to worry too much about bringing yourself down with ramming into walls.
Right, and I'm like, well, if he gets me like machine gun or just like something weak, you know, it can help me stave that off.
Yeah, because that's like two homing missiles, probably one taser with both hits. Maybe even the first hit might even hit. Look at that. There we go. That was a good barrage there at the end.
Yeah, I went on ahead. I thought about doing the minion attack, but I decided to go with ice in case he shielded and came at me. I could shield and try to get away.
Yep. You got to manage your meter there.
So there's his daughter I was talking about.
Yeah. So before I was like, I guess I figured that's what it was.
It's really not fair. You know, he's having to be babysitter and gamer at the same time. You know.
Yeah, well, that happened to Summoning probably about 10 years ago when he was here, and we were doing a UMK3 tournament at a little arcade event, and he had his baby on his lap while he was playing, and he's beating the guys that were there that were like, I think the guy that was there was Dan Logan, one of our local guys, and he was actually running the tournament and invited us. So it wasn't like us running the tournament, but here he is, he's playing this guy who's like twice his age with a baby on his lap. And he's beating him with Kung Lao. He's doing Kung Lao combos with a baby on his lap. All right,
that's
here we go.
So I'd say in the photo.
Yeah,
got great context.
Ooh, wow, look at this. When both cars are like moving in the air, like when you get that that effect off the taser, and they're like kind of getting dragged, but there's also like firing going on. It's like a really there's a turbo there, but like dynamic. Look at this like mud skipping.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
And the missile. I was like turning her. I love that. Like that's the thing I'm talking about. Like the physics in this game, man. Like you'll just be flying through the air, and you can like do tight turns in the air and shoot missiles. It's
absolutely. That was my favorite thing to do with Outlaw 2. Man, you got this one. Boom. Ooh.
I'm just trying to use the cover, and now I don't know where he's going here, but my thought is, well, there's still a full heal left, so I'm just gonna go grab that.
Yep. Remove any doubts. I don't know why he's dumping the, because this ricochet bomb's just gonna come back out on the other side, and he gave up that turbo there. He needed that. Picks up a he gave up another. That's a big deal. 20 turbos in this match. The speeds are similar, but turbo it makes a big difference. And that should be it.
Yeah.
Oh, got the shield on. That was good.
And I try to be slick here. I'm thinking, well, if he doesn't see me coming
the invisibility.
And I overshoot it.
It was the homing. No, very nice. It was definitely an interesting usage of invisibility. Invisibility's what, like a 25%?
It's pretty similar to the shield, which is why I don't see.
It's almost a third, yeah. It's like just the shield is enough that you can get 3 of them in succession without having to wait, but that's only because it recharges a little bit each time. So it must be like closer to 40, something like that. Which is another interesting aspect, that the special moves all take different amounts from your. We used to just call it the run bar in this game too, back in the day. But I guess it would be your special bar. And also, I think even like, does reverse fire? Does that take any bar? I don't remember.
Not until 3.
Okay.
So I mean, Twisted Metal 3.
Yeah. Ooh, minion special. Look at that. Oh my god. Big damage.
So yeah, I got the actual like the warthog part of it, but the ice missile, he actually
Because
got the
it
shield
starts
out
up
for
as
it.
high up as it is on Minion's vehicle, so it'll go like over, and it doesn't have like the hard homing. It has like the long distance homing.
Accidentally
Dumping some
rear
missiles
fired there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, and you can do rear freeze, but you can only do it if you have no weapon, nothing in your bay at all.
Yep. Which this was smart here. I was gonna ambush him with a remote bomb, but he sees it coming, so
Okay,
you know.
he's really right. Oh my god, really right
I
in the
guess I
edge
probably
there.
shouldn't have spoiled that.
That's all right. That's all right.
See, he
Yep,
shielded,
he knew.
so
Nope, you have to do it. I mean, he could have just waited over there, but you're gonna build up all the Spectre missiles, so it's like, yeah, that's almost like chip damage, you know? It's like you either got to go in or you're gonna get all those missiles, and you fire two at him, and his shield's gone, you know?
at this point, like I have no artillery, so I'm like, well, I'm just gonna get a little
Yeah,
bit,
and
you know,
you get
at least enough
turbos
to
in
try
here.
to finish the cell.
Yeah, yeah. I think the full power up is over there in the back. Is that a full power
Yes,
up?
you have to make.
On
Yeah, at the end of the bridge, you
on the
jump the hill, and there's like
Yeah, you got to go through the hoop up back there. Yeah.
Yeah, that there in the distance.
Okay. Oop. And there's your Spectre missile.
Yeah, this is it.
Boom.
Man.
Very nice. Very nice job. Yeah, that was. I mean, that to me, like the way you were playing that like was how like I used to play with Dreamer and Jay. Like just your overall performance. It very much reminded me of that. So I know it would be a lot of fun to play against you in this.
Yeah, I'm glad I could take you down memory lane, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that was definitely good. Squid, what is up, man? If you just jumped in, we just did I don't know, about an hour. What was that? Yeah, about an hour of the end of this, or I should say this the run through of these matches from the Twisted Metal 2 tournament at Retropalooza. We'll go back to this real quick.
Of course, shout outs to the Retro World Series for, you know, doing these tournaments in the first place. It's always like, I love seeing organizations like give these kind of games a chance, you know, and get to bring people like new and old to them.
Yeah, this was really nice to see. Again, this game is as old as anything else that people play competitively for for generations. Considering what they did like 5 more games after this.
Yeah, this game came out on Halloween of '96.
Yes, that's right. Wow. So yeah, look at that. Almost 27 years. This game's older than you?
It is, yeah. It beats me by about a year.
Wow, unbelievable. And again, when this came out, I'm 16. I was a junior, sophomore in high school. Was it 96? Sophomore in high school. Yeah.
I feel like the gameplay and like the art direction, like even the rough aspects of the game visually, I feel lend itself to its art direction. Like it's just
totally.
This game is just like an experience, man.
Yeah. I always liked how the power-ups were 2D, so they stand out very, very clearly, like high contrast from the environment. And then when they moved it to 3D, it just, I don't know, everything sort of like blended in, and it was like having to like get very, very close to something before you could like tell what it is. And then obviously with the newer games, like not knowing what, you know, the maps are and the layout, like on these, like I just know where everything is on every map. Like I'm like, oh, I need a turbo. I know exactly where to go. But I didn't play the other ones enough to really get to that point. So maybe they would have gotten a little more fun if I would have learned it. But then like I was saying, Twisted Metal Head On, from what I remember, that one has like a level up system in it. So like as you play versus the computer, you like your car, like you get like the special weapons. I think they have like better properties to them, and you get more armor and maybe speed and stuff like that. Like there's all kinds of things. Like I wish that there was just a mode where you had everything like you do in this. Like this, the way the cars just should be at 100%. I think that would have made it a lot better.
Yeah, the thing is, I feel like Head On is probably the one I played the least, which is ironic because it's like actually a true follow-up to Twisted Metal 2, like in terms of like lore and the way the game's supposed to be styled and
Yeah,
everything. But
yeah.
at least that's what I see people typically say is it's like the most true follow-up.
It is,
And apart,
but it's sort of like I mean, it is like Twisted Metal Black from what I remember. Like it's very very similar because I think it's based on the same engine, or at least if I don't know when they would have changed it. But it's a little better from what I remember because I only played Black like right when it came out, and I don't think I really played much after that. But I did play Head On because that came out like way after the fact because it was a PSP game. If that does that sound
yeah,
right? It was PSP, and
it was originally on PSP.
I remember when it came out for PSP, and I saw like I was like, wow, I'm like this looks pretty good actually. I'm like, it sucks that it's a PSP game, and then like years later, it must have been around like 2008, something like that. It came out for
That
PS2.
sounds right.
Yeah, it was a PS2 game that came out in like 2008. I was like, really? I was like, all right, well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, the Siphon Filter games on PSP did that as well. They started out as PSP games, and then really late in the PS2's life cycle, they came out on there as well. I'm not really sure why they decided to do that when the PS3 had been out for like 2 years already, but I am
Yeah,
glad they did because having home console options available of those games is good, and they weren't really the scale of a PS3 game. So,
gotcha. Yeah, man. Well,
but
that was good. That was good. Let's see if we can figure out a way to get some matches. We actually like put this stuff to the test and see, because I don't know how challenged you felt at the tournament, but I would just be like, I've never gotten to play anyone other than my close friends, and I feel like judging from like a competitive level in general, like I know like who was like the best out of like my three main opponents, but they all were like very focused on the game, like they all wanted to be good at it, whereas like fighting games like one of my friends would just kind of like play just because like that's what we were playing, and he wasn't really like interested in playing against people. I think Twisted Metal is really the only game that one particular friend liked playing against other people in. Usually he was just like a single player game. That was his preference. And then I had the one friend. He thought he was good at every single game, and he was just he would just have
yeah,
to like
yeah.
learn the hard way every single time. And yeah, he was trying to get into like first person shooters when he was like approaching 40, and I'm like, it's probably not the time to start.
He should have picked
So
up skateboarding too, man.
yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Well, professional wrestling is dangerous enough, and he did that well longer than he probably should have too. But yeah,
Yeah.
those were some fun times playing this, like basically like the summer of like what was it, like 97, I guess. Probably like yeah, cuz it was 96 this came out, so yeah, probably 97, 98, 99, and then that was probably about it for our little group. And we played it other times too, but like for like the whole summer, like we were at one of our four houses like every day, just lugging this around and playing it.
It's a great one to have. I mean, like, it's one of those games that I don't think, like, one of those games from this generation that I don't think the multiplayer experience is hampered down by not having four player, because I think the dynamic and the character and map designs just fit a 1v1 style so well.
Totally, yeah.
Like, like they added, four player and three and four, but
Yeah,
it still doesn't make the combat or the physics or anything or like the pacing of the matches as good as they are in this game. Like I can
yeah,
bring a multi tap in three and four, but like everybody still wants to play two just because it
yeah,
plays better. It
yeah.
has cooler characters.
Yeah.
Like it's just more appealing.
The physics is just really what like sets it apart. Is like it's kind of like basically like taking like MK1 to MK2, and it's basically Twisted Metal 1 to Twisted Metal 2 is like the exact comparison to me. It's just like the
Yep.
the feel, everything in 2 is like improved upon. I should say everything from 1 is improved upon in 2 in both. And that's pretty much what I hear from other people who play it. From like having like kind of like casual conversations about it at tournaments, but like you never ever get to play anyone in it, so you don't really get to see if anybody like new, because there's like plenty of people who tell you like what games they like in a series, and you don't really like know how to take their opinion on it until you play them in them.
Exactly. I know that I'm talking with some people right now. Nothing's official. I'm wanting to do something for this game that'll be like local, and of course, like if we want to arrange something like somewhere else, of course I'm interested. We'll just have to plan it out. But of course, I said whenever Fightcade adds Duck Station, which has been like people have been whispering about that for it feels like probably over a year now. That will be great for games like Twisted Metal 2. I mean, everybody's talking about like the fighting games on the PS1, which that's great, but like when I think about it, I feel like you're not really using the system's full potential if you're just sticking to that one genre of games. Like the system had a ton of different great games, in different genres. So I'm really excited to see how it just brings that system's community all together, because
Gotcha.
I notice whenever I'm at conventions, even though the PlayStation, outsold the N64 by like triple the amount of consoles,
easily.
like the N64 is like the system in the convention space when it comes on the retro games.
Yeah.
Like that's like it carries like Smash Bros, Pokemon Puzzle League, Mario Kart 64,
Absolutely.
like those games just clean house.
The
and
fun,
then, like game.
The fun aspect definitely outweighs like the popularity aspect. John Fat, what is up? I have actually not really gotten to play any MK1. I've been a little bit busy recently. I haven't really been able to even stream anything. But I'm gonna try to get back into that now. We do have another MK1 tournament coming up, and that is in 10 days. It's also at the Helix Esports. I guess I can slip that in there. So yeah, it'll same thing as last time. It's gonna be another fun tournament. We had a really good one a couple weeks ago. 64 players showed up, and it was no, this is in person. Yeah, this is something I was talking with Darth Arma about specifically, because I feel like the this tournament that we just did. I mean, again, it was in person, 64 players, the opening weekend, very very competitive, but I can't seem to get any eyes on it. I want like as many people to come out to these events as possible. If we have to, double our setups, we had like 7 or 8 PlayStation 5s at the last one. If we got to do more, we will. But yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, here in Guatemala. That does pose a problem. But yeah, so then we'll be doing that. And so far as I know, we will be. I mean, I don't have 100% confirmation, but I have been talking with Big E about NEC to do MK1 there as well. So once I'm completely informed on that, I will post about it and start advertising it on here. And we'll probably do at least one more MKNJ, but before that in November. But we'll see, because the holidays make it a little bit more difficult.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with that one. I think that's going to be another event. If your first MK1 event was any indication, I think that one's going to be a great turnout too.
Yeah, that was.
I think that this game has. I think the MK1, probably assuming that there is decent support for it, I mean, I'm sure it has at least a few good years of consistent big tournament life in it,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he just wasn't familiar with the 2-player version of this map or not, because like it looks like he's trying to go out there to get into the class, or to see.
Oh yeah. He's just kind of like investigating over there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a Statue of Liberty you can blow up back there too. I think does that reveal a code or something?
No, you can blow her into a bikini, and
that
you
was
can
it.
blow her away and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fun. And of course, like there's the Hollywood sign in the background of LA.
Yep. Eiffel Tower.
Then, there is a cheat in this level. If you fall off the stage, you
That's
can
right.
see
You can
it.
see
In
it on the
the,
ground.
you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
And another cheat is in Paris. If you melt, it's one of the paintings in that room with
Oh,
the napalm.
The Mona Lisa, I believe, has a stage code, or maybe it's the Sweet Tooth or Minion code, one of those
And
two.
then Moscow also has one on the banners. You like if
Yes.
you blow up the place and all that. So that's one thing. Like the environments this game, like I always really appreciated how not only are they like thoughtful in terms of like all the different like areas you can go in and explore and take advantage of with the like maneuvering of the game, but also like there's just like little details and stuff you can blow up all over the place,
Yep.
which
Yeah, little
for
interactable type stuff.
yeah, yeah, especially for like, I mean, I guess I don't know if you consider this a first or a second generation PlayStation game, 'cause it is pretty early in the lifespan. Uh, that's pretty great. A lot of that stuff, like the PS1's like game library in general, like how the games feel, definitely changed a lot as the system got, older.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not too familiar, but I would just say going between Twisted Metal 1 and Twisted Metal 2, knowing how those two games play and the specific differences between those, I can tell the way, obviously, since they were developed by different people, 3 and 4 just feel very, very different than 1 and 2. Even outside, like, the specific differences, there's, like, an overall, like, a universal feel of it that just doesn't line up.
mhm. Yeah, I went back to because 4 was the first Twisted Metal game I ever played. I was a kid and I bought it. Like Blockbuster had stopped renting out PS1 games, so they were
Hmm.
selling them, and they had a few copies of 4. And I decided to get it, and it didn't work when I brought it home, which it was like the first PS1 game I'd ever bought from a store like that didn't work,
That's funny.
And like I'm probably in like kindergarten or something, and me and my dad take it back, and he puts it. And the guy dives behind the desk, right? And he comes back up and he hands me another one, and we go back, and that one doesn't work either. So we bring it back again. Finally we get a working one. But like they actually walked back to the aisle and swapped it out this time. So I think what happened last time is I handed that guy the game and he said, "Okay, let me change it." He dived behind the desk and did nothing, and then just handed me back the same game.
Wow.
But I got pretty good at 4, like as a teenager. Like I got where I could beat the immortal ranks and stuff with like all the base characters without losing a life and stuff like that. So like I have a lot of reasons and like nostalgia to really like 4, and I even liked 3, and I still like all of them. But after actually playing this one a lot, which I started to play it primarily for the tournament, I knew the show was coming out, and that got me thinking about the series some
Mm-hmm.
too. But
Mm-hmm.
then I saw this game was getting a tournament, and I was like, well, I've always been terrible at Twisted Metal too. So, like, I would like to learn it, and I
Yeah.
started playing it. And it didn't take me too long, maybe about a week in of getting blown up by the AI constantly and getting screwed over. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this one is the best one, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those things that like you just know. You just know when a game is like it has everything that you need for like real competition, and it also has a lot of personality on top of it. I feel like 3 and 4, the personality was lost, and again, it probably has something to do with the change in team and everything. Um,
I don't think 989 is like a bad studio
oh, definitely
inherently.
not.
Like, I love the first 2 Siphon Filter games that they helped develop. Those are like, especially the second one. I actually did a competitive, like a small little competitive scene at my community college for it. Um, so I think they're competent developers. I just think they had a different idea for the franchise. But the problem is, I feel like they kind of it kind of lost its identity a bit,
Yeah,
and the focus the genre took in general towards like heavier physics to try to make it feel more like real cars instead of like
yeah,
characters you
that's a big
maneuver.
mistake.
Yeah, that was like, and what's sad though is that I feel like it kind of permeated the whole genre at once they started going that direction.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I feel that like when they when they released the trailer for the teaser or whatever for Black, that they were trying to make it come off like we're going back to, you know, like the Twisted Metal 2 style. And I think what happens is, like, because the maps start getting like just beyond like your rudimentary design of just like surfaces and like obstacles, now you have like all of this like difference in terrain and like just, I don't know, like it's overcomplicated for like a combat game, but it's not overcomplicated for like a big like presentation, like big budget type thing. So it does kind of get lost, like the fun factor gets lost in the shuffle there, which I think is why Twisted Metal Head On is better than Black in some ways, because I think it is a little bit more simplistic, and not like simplistic like Small Brawl was super like, it was basically Small Brawl was like Twisted Metal 2, but like shrunk. Like, it was just like literally what it was. Just watching that back in, that air freeze was very good.
Yeah, the game's pretty sweet. I noticed that, well, it's like you notice with this game in terms of like the map design, there's like a sense of verticality, and some of the maps have quite a bit of it, but
Yes.
there's like a lot of the environments still, like the levels and planes you're on, are largely flat. And I think that more like flat, almost like horizontal, like plane building design of just like having levels with those horizontal planes lends well to this style of game.
Yeah.
Because you start to see, like, I noticed it playing, like the devs of this made, you know, Rogue Trip. And some of the maps, especially like the golf course map and stuff like that, it's just like there's so much verticality to the hills and stuff that it just makes the aiming and like the maneuvering throughout the weight of the cars and everything just so unnatural, and you just lose, like you said, a lot of the fun factor. You know, it doesn't feel as intuitive to aim and maneuver.
I think it's also sort of like Doom is like a good example of like how simplistic that game is, but it's just super fun, because there's not as much like, so there's like thinking involved in this game, but it's like it's more like knowing the map and everything, and like the, you know, just the nuances of the vehicles versus like fighting with the map. It's not. It's just a different. It's a different limitation, I should say, on gameplay. Which, when is less to deal with, is like less limitation. Because like, look at this map, like Antarctica, like with those little like speed bumps, basically there, like little snow hills. Like they make a difference. Like they'll, you know, they're just barely there. You know, it's it's like just enough.
Yeah, they really tightrope it, because, you know, if you had those kind of things, add like an aspect to it that really fits the Antarctica fields. You know, a lot of it's like I mentioned before, that spontaneous matter where it's like you could fall right off if you take one turn wrong. You know, and it really helps to create that. But like a lot of it is so low, you can like just hop, or you can just go on top of it real quick, and it's not like this big like mountain you have to climb, you know, or like just this really inconvenient obstacle that you have in your way all the time. So I think Doom
you guys
is
are really
actually
dueling
a good
with those
analogy.
Ricos. Well, yeah, Doom, yeah. You guys were like dueling with those Ricos there. It's so dangerous, those Ricos in the canyon.
But I thought if I could get him to stay down there with the Rico, and I could like get a hold of some, maybe I could just like throw him against the wall down there and just kind of pollute the area.
Yep,
try
exactly.
to control that space.
You just get the little back and forth like crossfire with them. They get like a few bounces before they blow up.
Yeah.
But
so like that was almost it right there, and this is too like.
Yep, right there. Did you hit the geyser, or that geyser, the like the oil rig or whatever that is there?
No, I didn't hit it. I just managed to hold the D-pad and the gas just right to where I could like keep a new momentum whenever I hit the ground. Because otherwise, if I had bounced, yeah, that probably would have been the end of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's it, we can call it a night, and then we can figure out how we wanna do this. If I want to, maybe, because I don't know how the quality is gonna be, I might actually just like overlay the original videos back and just add my little corner into the video, and then send them back to him like that. I think I might do that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. You can send it to him, and we'll get feedback on the thoughts are. Of course, thank you for having me on and doing this. Any exposure for the game and like Retro World Series and what they're doing, and like getting to bring old players back into a game like this, I'm always excited to be a part of that.
It was awesome having you on here. I appreciate somebody with like serious knowledge of a very, very unloved game, so to speak. At least today, and we can maybe see what we can do about bringing some interest in, and maybe we can run it at some events.
Yeah. Sounds great, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. All right. So that'll do it for tonight.